Long story short, I decided to check out this movie when I heard that Sydney Sweeney was starring and producing a horror film. Uh, I have only seen her in Madam Web, and I know she's capable of better. And I wanted to see a movie that she put money into that she believes in. I got off of work early today, so I figured I would watch it and kind of give it a shot. And I walked away with some thoughts. So let's see what my thoughts were as I show you guys the trailer to this. So here we go.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hello? And God saved me for a reason, but I guess I'm still searching for what that reason is. Too much blood of Christ.
It's a miracle. You are the child.
Out of all the women in the world, why did he choose me? How can we trust what's inside you?
Suffering. You should love. Suffering. 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 You should love.
Alright, let me see if it gives us a plot synopsis. Here we go. Alright. Sydney Sweeney stars as Cecilia, an American nun of devout faith embarking on a new journey in a remote convent in the picturesque Italian countryside. Wow, that was a mouthful. Cecilia's warm welcome quickly descends into a nightmare as it becomes clear her new home harbors a sinister secret and unspeakable horrors. Only in cinemas March 22nd. Alright, so let me switch back to here. So, I guess to start things off, so first of all, I'm not a professional movie critic. I didn't go to school to review movies or anything like that. I've taken film class. I've done film studies, but I've always watched a lot of movies as someone growing up, and it's just gotten to a point where I recognize certain stuff in movies. I follow kind of the industry in a news kind of way. I'm not a professional at all. I watch a lot of reviewers. Some of them I align with a lot. So if you don't want to take my opinions on anything, that's cool. That's fine. I mean, that's your freedom to do so. I am simply here to give you guys my opinion based off stuff I like and based off stuff I hate. You may agree with me and you may disagree with me. I think having opposite views and stuff like this is very interesting. So the word I would use walking out of this movie was frustrated. I was very frustrated leaving this movie. And I'm going to say this off the bat. It's not due to the fault of Sydney Sweeney. In fact, she's the highlight of this movie. This movie is built around her, and there's a reason for it. Like, she is the star of the movie. In this movie, she showed me more capabilities as an actress than she ever did in Madam Web. So for that, I would say is one of the biggest positives I can give. If you're a huge Sydney Sweeney fan, if you just adore her, if you're thirsty for her, whatever your reason is, if you're a big Sydney Sweeney person and you want to see her capabilities as an actress, I would say give this movie a shot. Other than that, I don't know, maybe if you find religious imageries scary and stuff like that, but even then, there's not a whole lot of it, I'm going to be honest. Like, they barely touch on the religious aspects of this movie for a movie that takes place in, like, a cathedral or whatever. Let's see. I'm going to just pull up Wikipedia because I am very tempted to go into spoilers, and I feel like I might need Wikipedia's help to kind of fill in the gaps I had. So, let's see. Does it even have... Wow, this is this is such a slapdashed summary of the film. Holy Christ. So, let's see. I'm really trying to figure out how to do this because this is my first ever like Twitch live movie review, and I want to keep this going. I'm just worried that I'm not going to be able to do that well with this film because this is a tricky film for me to review. All right, I'm going to say this. I think maybe I was disappointed because I had expectations that I probably shouldn't have had. All right, when I saw that trailer, you guys want to know what I was thinking of or what I thought was kind of going on in the film? I thought because of all the religious stuff, there was going to be some demonic elements in it. And without giving anything away yet, because depending on whether y'all care or not, I might do some spoilers and really dive deep into it. But if you know, I'm going to put it this way. I've got this right here with me. I was grabbing this. I prepared this. I so happened to grab this from Walmart. This is a movie called Malum. This is a reimagining of the movie Last Shift that came out in like 2014, 2015, something like that. This is just it has a bunch of demonic stuff going on, a lot of satanic imagery, a lot of spooky stuff, very, very satanic and demonic heavy. If you're someone who's looking for something like this, where there's demons and stuff, this is not your movie. Alright, just skip it. If you are someone like me, where you expected some demonic stuff to happen, bounce. Bounce! This shit is not for you. So maybe that was my fault for having that expectations, but I mean, come on. I showed y'all the trailer. You can't tell me that you didn't at least for a second think maybe that was happening. Like, it's about a woman who has a immaculate conception. And I'm like, alright, well, it's a horror movie, so obviously they gotta twist it. And one of the things they're gonna do to do that is to make it a demonic baby or something like that. And that is absolutely not the case at all. That's absolutely not what happens. If y'all want spoilers, I'll tell you what happens. It's I'm gonna say this, it's a lot stupider than that. It's a lot stupider than that. Alright, so biggest part of Sydney Sweeney. One of the negatives I had was I felt like I was lied to. I felt like I was misled by the marketing and kind of what the movie was about. That's one thing I didn't like. Biggest thing, and I was starting to keep count. There are so many fucking jump scares in this movie, man. Holy shit. Like, this was reaching Nightmare on Elm Street remake territories on how many goddamn jump scares there were. Like, it seemed like every like 5 scenes or something like that, there'd be some jump scare, and it'd be the most random shit ever. Like, the first one is just Sydney Sweeney's character, Cecilia, talking about her almost drowning, it just all of a sudden cuts to her like in the water being like, "Rug!" And I was like, what the fuck? like, I like, did you have to do the jump scare for it? Like, I don't think y'all need to do that. Another one you saw in the trailer was like the hands coming through the wall. That one was drawn out like crazy. I was like, all right, so is happening. Come on, come on. So like that happened. What's some other jump scares? There was a couple that I thought were cool where you saw things in the background and then they disappeared for a second, further giving me the demonic impression. So now, as I'm thinking about this, I'm really thinking, or like I'm debating if I should like sue or not at this point because I feel like they leaned very heavily into the demonic shit and did not deliver at all. I feel like I am owed something for that. Let's see. What else could I... Oh, the villain of the movie. Because there is a villain. The villain of the movie becomes just cartoonishly evil. And you can... If you've seen a good amount of films, you can easily just figure out who it is. Like, it was not subtle at all. I don't know if they were trying to make it a mystery or whatever, but... Yeah, it was just not subtle at all. Like, the moment Sydney Sweeney talked to this person, I'm like... That's the bad guy. Like... I'm like, this person's either going to be a creep, they're going to be, like, a demonic entity, or they're going to be doing something fucked up. And, I think, yeah. It was the third option. Without getting too in-depth, it was the third option. But, yeah, it was just, the villain was very obvious to figure out, and he just got cartoonishly evil towards the end, like, to the point where I... like, wanted to laugh, but I couldn't because there were people in the theater with me, and I was like, well, I don't want to be an asshole. So, if I saw this at home, I'd be laughing my ass off, being like, bro, this guy is, like, going overboard with this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to... Oh, if you're thirsty for Sydney Sweeney and you want to see her naked, she's only, like, naked... like, not fully. I think you need to watch Euphoria or something like that for that. But she covers herself in that scene you saw in the trailer where she's taking a shower. And before that, there's this scene where, like, she's kind of in a pool and she's got her, like, nightgown. And you kind of see a silhouette of her. A little bit of nipplage going on. But, like, if you want to see her naked, this movie doesn't do it for you either. Like, I'm really trying to figure out who I would recommend this to, because that's usually how I come to my ratings, is like, who the fuck am I even gonna, like, recommend this to? And, like, at this point, it's only, like, two audiences. Sydney Sweeney fans that, like, don't want to see her naked, like, they don't care about that, or, the religious people that, like, get freaked out about anything, just Jesus, Christ, Christian elements at all. Like, if you're afraid of that kind of stuff, this might do it for you. So, this was really disappointing. What number am I thinking of right now? I can't go below a 5 because to me, a 5 is like average. It's just like whatever. Anything below average, that's kind of when you get to like the terrible territory. It was just fine. Like, nothing entirely scared me. There were some, like, images they set up where I was like, ooh, okay. But other than that, it didn't really scare me. It was just a bunch of jump scares, and I feel like that's fucking lazy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a 5. I think I'm gonna go with a 5 for my rating. 5 out of 10. It was just average. It was whatever. You can throw it on in the background, do something if you wanted.